All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started in a seated position today. I'm going to cross your legs, Sukhasana. You can either cross at the shins or the ankles. And we'll just drop right into the breath. So rest your eyes, take about 5 deep breaths. And allow friction on the back of your throat. All right, and then open your eyes and go to swing your right leg out to the right. Put your right hand on your right hip, left hand to the left, and then push your right hip forward and back just about 5 times. Pushing and pulling. Feel the head of your femur right around the pelvis and a little bit of opening. Today we'll work a little more with elasticity and fascia opening. So one more time, go ahead and push your hip forward and then try to lift your right foot off the ground. If you're at home and you don't have your right foot off the ground, that's okay. Just try to lift it up. And to create more intensity, if you feel okay, bring the hands to your heart. Take a couple breaths, see if you can relax in the face. And then switch. Release your right foot down, swing your right leg around to the front of your mat, swing the left leg out to the left. And we'll basically do the same thing. So left hand on the left hip, push it forward and back 5 times. And if you're kind of an anatomy person or you're interested, this is internal rotation of your hip when you push it forward. Kind of like a warrior one hip. All right, one more time. We'll hold it in the internal position. Lift your left foot off the ground. That might be enough for you. Otherwise, bring the hands to your heart. Take a couple extra breaths. You should feel the outer hip catch some heat here, some strength. Good, release that. Swing your left leg forward, cross your ankles, pull on your feet, roll over to the hands and the knees. Now you might sit on a block here. You don't have to sit on a block or anything, but just in case, I'll put one behind me. All right. And then I want you to put your fingers on the ground behind you. This might hurt, but trust me, it's worth it. Lift your knees off the ground. And then set them back down. And then do that a few more times. Pop the knees up and set them down. Do it a few more times on your own. Some of you guys might get your knees really high. I have a lot of scar tissue in my feet, so my knees aren't going to lift too much. But I feel a huge opening in my ankle when I do this. Good, let's hold the last one. So knees are off the ground. Nice job. Release that. And remove your block. Downward facing dog. Plant your palms down. Step your feet back one at a time or simultaneously. Either way. Go ahead and pedal your legs back and forth. Start to open up the hammies. Good. Shift into a plank position. Shoulders above your wrists. See if you can make your legs a little more powerful here. And draw your sternum to the front of the room. It's always a good indicator if you lengthen the sides of your neck here. Those are our stressors. So if you can get your neck nice and long here, you'll also kind of find a way to stretch it out. And belly hugs in. Let's go ahead and take one more deep breath and then slowly lower all the way down to your belly. Good, nice job. Take the hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Pull your knuckles back. We call this Shalabhasana. Lift your feet a little bit off the ground. Lift your knees. Lift your head. And then I want you to kind of focus on opening any fascia around your chest. So you might kind of look to the right and pull your left shoulder back a little more. And then you can switch. Look over your left shoulder. Pull the right shoulder back more. Maybe one more time. Look to the right. And then one more time. Look to the left. Good. Release all that down. Reach your arms all the way out in front of you. Prong your fingers here. So you're going to come up to your finger pads. Create that funnel of energy through the heel of your hand. And then Something you can't really see, but yeah, prong the fingers. And then push everything down. So I want you to really engage your core. You're going to feel your belly button lift off the ground and your tail is going to tuck. And if you guys see these two amazing yogis, you can't really see the work that they're doing, right? His Larry's really tight in the midsection. His ribs are tight. His tail, it's almost like I'm standing on his tailbone here. Good. Now lift your feet off the ground. Try to keep the work that you're doing. Lift your hands off the ground for a few breaths. So it's not about how high you lift the arms and the legs. It's about keeping that same action of the tail drawing back. 2 more. Lift a little higher. And then release child's pose. Push the hips on your heels. And let's come right back to downward facing dog. Hands and knees, curl the toes. Lift your hips up and back. Separate your feet a little bit wider. Pivot your feet out like a duck. Walk your hands back to your feet. Yogi squat. Squat down. Reach your arms up, interlace your fingers, steeple mudra. And then I just want you to lift your hips up and then squat your hips back down. So maybe not the full range of motion, but start to do this about 10, maybe 12 times. Just a nice brief warm up. Really bracing with your core the whole time. Good, halfway there. Good, one more time. Hold this one. And then stand up. Release your arms. Walk to the front of your space. And bring your feet together. Relax your arms down by your sides. And then reach your arms up. So I want you to cross your arms behind you and then tuck your hands, your fingers to the armpits. So they're on the fronts of you. Yeah, exactly. And then push your head back into your arms a little bit and try to draw your tail down. Exactly. So you feel that front rib hug in. Yeah, I have to look down here just like Larry is because I'm tight. You might too. Good. Reach your arms back up. Do that again. Across the arms the other way. So the other arm's in front. Same idea. Push your head back a little bit. Feel the opening in your thoracic spine. But try to avoid back bending. Exactly. Attention to detail. All right, reach your arms up. And draw the hands to your heart. Separate your feet a little bit. Shake out your body. Here's a little opening for your elasticity, creating it in the feet. So I just want you to kind of take little hops on the balls of your feet. It can be kind of low if your feet have injuries, or it can be a little higher. All right? So just for about 30 seconds. You can go 1 foot forward if you want. Yeah, so I don't know about you, but 90% of my exercise is yoga. So don't build that explosive quality. So this is a really good exercise for your feet, creating that nice strength. You build a strength, and a lot more things are possible. And it's a lot of cardio. It's a good way to warm up your body. Got about 10 more seconds. Keep going. Nice. 3, 2, and 1. Reach your arms up. And then a few vinyasas. Fold forward. Lengthen on your inhale. Step to plank. You can jump back if you want. Lower slowly down. Cobra, upward facing dog. And down dog on your exhale. Take a couple breaths. Nice. Lift your heels. Inhale, bend your knees. Walk, step, or lightly jump. Front of your mat, please. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Fold on your exhale. Stand up, reach your arms overhead. And then hands to your heart. Exhale. Let's do it again. 2 more. Inhale, reach up. Fold in half on your exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Step to plank. Jump back if you want. Lower slow. Good. Inhale, arch your spine. Really good. Down dog. A few deep breaths. Yeah. For the inner thighs, roll back a little bit. Let's do one more. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend the knees, walk, step, or launch to the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Fold on your exhale. Stand up, reach the arms overhead. And then hands to your heart, exhale. Last one, inhale, reach high. Forward fold, exhale, swan dive. Lengthen on your inhale. Step or float back, lower down, steady and strong. And last time, cobra, upward facing. And then downward facing dog. Then bring the right knee to your nose. Step your right foot forward, crescent pose. So go to reach your arms up. For today, I want your back leg completely straight. A lot of times we'll bend the back knee to create the frontal hip point lift. This time, try to lift your frontal hip points, but keep your left leg straight. Bring the hands to the right thigh. And then it's another fascia exercise. Start to bounce down and up with your right hip lower and higher. But feel this in the front of your left hip. And keep your left leg straight. I'm just going to bounce another 10 or 12 times. It's a great opening for your fascia. All right, now hold still. Reach your arms up. Now, if you want to bend the back knee a little bit, shift the weight into your back leg, go for it. Take one more breath. Plank position on your exhale, lower slow on your exhale. Cobra, upward facing. Downward facing on your exhale. Curl the left knee to your nose. Step your left foot between your hands a little to the left. Come all the way up, crescent. All right, hands on top of your left thigh. Make sure your right leg feels straight. And then go ahead, bounce on the left hip a few times. Nice, really good. So it's intuitive. You can feel the muscle opening. You don't really have to look around. It's pretty obvious what you're feeling. Just another 10 bounces. And these guys are pros. All right, when you're ready, hold still, reach your arms up. And then if you want to bend your back knee a little bit, if that's comfortable for you, go for it. Feel your back ribs extend. Let's take one more breath. Hands to the ground, exhale, plank pose. Lower down nice and slow with control. Inhale, open up chest, heart, and lung. And then downward facing dog on your exhale. All right. Lift your heels high. Inhale, bend the knees, walk, step, float, or fly to the front. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Fold on your exhale. Chair pose. Bend your knees, sink down, reach up. Hold your chair. Take that same cross-armed position where your fingers go to the armpits on the inside of your arms. Cross your arms. Hands behind you. Good, and then push your head back into your arms. It's difficult not to arch your back here. Just feel that. Good. And then from here, just extend your arms out. Feel your hands move a little closer. Last deep breath. Stand up, hands to your heart. All right, turn to the right. Spread your feet pretty wide. Good. So this exercise, usually I'll teach it with knees bent. Today, hands to hips, legs straight, fold forward. So you might want to put your hands on blocks if you can't reach the floor, if your body type isn't quite ready for that. Otherwise, legs straight today. All right, and then I want you to basically flex your ankles and lift your toes up. Maybe even come up to your fingertops here. And shift the weight back into your heels so much that almost your whole foot lifts off the ground. Yes. Nice. And then bring the feet back down, the toes back down. And let's do that a few times. So you can kind of go from palms to fingertops here. Flex your ankles, shift back. All right? Plant the palms, shift forward. Again, fingertops, heels. Good. And just do this on your own. You can start to go faster. So if you can't straighten the legs, that's fine. But when you straighten your leg, you allow the elasticity to go all the way to the back of the knee here. Now, we're not talking about hyperextension. If you're hyperflexible, it's a different case. You probably put a micro bend in your knee. But most of us are fine straightening the leg, almost locking the leg. A couple more times. Really shift back there. Get the toes way up. There you go. Yeah, like that. 5 more. So Larry's already doing what I want the next step to be. Now angle your toes away from each other, kind of like dancer feet. Feet point out, and then do it a few more times. Forward, back, forward, back. 2 more. All right. Heel toe your feet about a foot closer together. Bend your knees. Pivot your feet away from one another so you're in goddess pose. Come up with your arms open to the sides. Nice. Now in this one, I want you to start to pulse your arms open. Quick movements. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach your arms up. Stand up, hands to your heart. The good thing about this one is we want to do it 2 times. Do it again. Bend your knees, open your arms out to the sides, and do it again. Remember, it's 1.8 seconds per movement. Good. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach your arms up. And stand up, hands to your heart. Good job. Step to the front of your yoga mat. Bring your feet together. And then if you're at the very front of your yoga mat, like I asked, take 1 step back so you're not at the very, very front. I want the hands on the hips here. Get your thumbs to touch. Lift your heels up. Good. And then I want you to start to bend forward, trying to keep your heels up. All right, so really lift your heels high. Now, a lot of us will need to bend the knees here, and that's okay on this one. If you want to bend your knees, that's fine. Great. See how low you can go. 3 more breaths. Now keep your heels high. Release your hands to the floor, somewhere around under your face, and then try to lift your heels higher. So maybe your palms are flat. Maybe it's just 10 fingertips pronged. Couple more breaths. And it's okay to bend the knees to lift your heels. Now I want you to bend your toes a lot. Yes, bend the toes a lot. All right, set your heels down. Lengthen the spine on your inhale. Step or jump back. Lower slowly down on your exhale. Cobra, upward facing, your choice. Downward facing dog, exhale. All right, lift your right leg back. Bend your knee, open your hip. All right, come into warrior 2, step between your thumbs, spin your back heel flat, circle the left arm open behind you. Nice. So kind of a different movement here. I want you to take the hands behind your head, interlace your fingers. So you guys at home, keep your warrior 2 legs. All right, make that your main priority. But then I want you to come into reverse warrior with your hands like this. So you're going to lean, go into a side bend. Exactly. Now, the really mild rotation of your spine here, just really mild. I want you to turn your left elbow a little bit to the left, like an uppercut. Yes, and then I want you to side bend the other direction, but a little bit at an angle to the right. And then do the same thing, a little rotation of your spine. And then come back. So you're basically drawing figure 8s with the middle part of your shoulder blades, your upper back. And I only want you to do this about 5 times. And it's more intuitive than it is rigid. So if you feel like, man, I shouldn't rotate that much, rotate less. If you feel good about it, rotate more. Nice. It's also, if you do this long enough, it's a tremendous way to strengthen your core. These guys are pros. 2 more rounds. All right, so once you settle in, warrior 2, spread your arms, turn your right palm up. Now just do the traditional reverse warrior and really get in there. Couple breaths. Nice, and then let's do traditional Parsva right forearm to right thigh, left arm to the front of the room. And if you really want the traditional way, you can put your hand on the floor. And traditional would be on the outside of the foot, but we won't tell anybody. All right, bring your left hand to the floor on the inside of your foot. Spin onto your back toes and reach your right arm up. So you're basically in a big twist. Good. Now I just want to do this a few times. This is real popular these days. Bring your right hand back down and then swing it up a few times. And feel the twisting vertebra T12 in your mid-back. If you go to gyms a lot, you see this is in right now. And they find that if you open the QL, which this is helping around the kidney, then your body's just overall more functioning. 3 more. 2. And in 1, keep your arm up, roll onto the outer edge of your left foot, and swing your right leg back. So you're going to stack your legs the best that you can. If you're dealing with injuries or fatigue, just have your left knee on the floor. And let's reach the right arm to the front of the room. And then, if you want to lift the right foot up or change the variation, make it a little more challenging or less. And right arm up, deep breath. Right hand to the ground. You're in plank. Shift forward on your breath in. Lower slow on your breath out. Inhale, open the spine. And then downward facing dog on your exhale. All right, lift your left leg back. Not much left. Bend your knee and open up your hip. Let's meet in Warrior 2. Step between your hands. Spin your back foot flat. Circle the right arm open so it's behind you. In step 1, you just want to make sure the left knee tracks over the left ankle, kind of the pinky toe side of the ankle. And then we'll come back to the hands behind the head, interlacing the fingers. Let's go kind of slow on round 1. Come into reverse warrior. Left elbow pulls up and back. It's a true side bend as you come into that reverse warrior first. And then do the rotation of your spine. Right elbow turns a little bit. And then go the other direction, kind of down at an angle. And then again, do the rotation. Figure 8. And again, it's more intuitive than it is rigid. Yes, these guys are doing such a beautiful job. If for whatever reason this doesn't feel good in your spine, I want you to just do forward, back, no rotation. Most people will enjoy the rotation. And last 3. 2. And on the last one, we'll pass through Warrior 2. Open your arms. Turn your left palm up and come into more of a true reverse warrior. Get in there for a breath. Good. True side angle, left forearm, left thigh, or these guys will put the hand on the floor. Right arm will reach to the front of the room. Couple of breaths. Nice. And even though we're moving a little quicker because of the format of the class, make sure you connect with each breath. All right, right arm up. Set your right hand down. Spin onto your back toes. Reach your left arm up. So we like to go slow into our twist. Left hand comes back down. Do that 5 more times. Opening and closing. Like a mini vinyasa. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then we'll keep it up this time. Reach your arm high. When you're ready, roll onto the outer side of your right foot and stack your legs, side plank. And float your left arm to the front of the room. Consider any modifications that you might need on your right side. Beautiful. Left arm up. And then left hand down. Come into plank. Shift forward an inch on your inhale. And lower slowly down on your exhale. Stay there this time on your belly. Good. Bend your knees. Reach back with your hands. Catch the outer ankles if you can. Nice. So I want to kind of do this in a different format than we usually do. Knees or hips distance. That's normal. So knees or hips distance. Now bend your elbows and pull the heels as close to the butt as you can. And then change that. Kick your legs into your arms and straighten your elbows. Come up a little bit. Head will lift a little. And then do that again. Bend your elbows, pull the heels into your butt. And then kick and come up. Yes, 4 more. Pull them in. Kick up a little higher. Nice. Exhale, pull them in. Kick, strong legs. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Now we'll hold the last one. So give it all you got. Kick the feet into the hands for 5. You hold it. For 4, you still breathe into it. 3, 2, and 1. Release all the way down. All right, curl the toes, press into plank, downward facing dog. All right, last standing pose. Lift your right leg up and step your right foot forward, front of your mat. Come back to crescent pose, reach your arms all the way up. Nice, so just it's a little bit of balance. Now you can reach your arms up and forward, that's what I'll do. Or you can bring the hands to your heart if you want to. All right, lean forward. And all we're gonna do here is flirt with lifting the back leg and then coming back to crescent. Again, leaning forward, lifting the back leg, coming back into crescent. And I want you to repeat this many times as you really want to, but for our sake of time, we're just going to do 5 more. Two. And 1. Hold the last one. And put your hands on the ground. And let your head hang. Should feel like a nice stretch here. Good. Now, very small pulses of your straight left leg. Lift your left leg a little higher, a little higher, a little lower, a little higher, a little lower. It's the same kind of feeling of fascia. Just keep kind of bouncing that left leg. Nice. Last deep breath. Back to crescent pose. Left foot drop steps. Reach up. Inhale. And then downward facing dog on your exhale. Take a vinyasa if you want it. All right. Last standing side. Lift your left leg back. Step forward, crescent pose. Reach your arms up. You choose the variation of your arms. Lean forward. Basically lift off. And land, crescent. Perfect. Again, lift off. And land. 5 more on your own. So yeah, you guys at home could pause it, do 100 of these if you want. So it's a great way to build the strength in your left hip. So you want to feel the left hip drawing back, and that's your launching pad. I think we have 2 more. Good. On the last one, let's try to hold our balance, warrior 3. And then put your hands on the floor, maybe on your books or blocks. We're just going to kind of bounce the right leg a few times. Keep it straight when you bounce it. Yeah, if you keep the leg straight, then nobody has to tell you how much to bounce it. You'll feel the right amount for you. Just a few more. All right, let's drop step back to crescent. Last inhale. And then down dog or last vinyasa on your exhale. Beautiful, you guys. Drop your knees to the floor, cross your ankles, have a seat. Place the soles of your feet together. All right. So I want you to slide the hands underneath your legs. So go on the wood floor, kind of under, or on the mat, under. Grab the ankles. And I just want you to kind of pull yourself in. And then sit up. So it's the same kind of idea. Pull, sit up, pull, and sit up. Pulling on the exhale. Sitting up on the inhale. 3 more. And dynamic stretching. And a few breaths to hold it. So pull yourself in as much as comfortable. All right, release that. Close your knees together. Slide your legs forward. Same idea. Reach your arms up. And then reach forward and fold. Again, inhale, reach back and up. Almost like you're in a back bend. And then exhale, forward bend. Go back a little further this time. Inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale. Notice it's working. All of a sudden, I can reach way past my feet. Inhale, 3 more. Exhale, fold. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale. And fold and give it a few breaths. Hang your head. If you can let go a little bit. And slowly release all the way down onto your back. And let's take a brief bridge. Set your feet down. Lift your hips high. Bridge pose. Alright, so this should be a good way to start the day. You can interlace the fingers if you want to press up, come up a little bit taller, a little higher. This will be our last pose of the sequence. Give it one more breath. And release all the way down. And hug the knees into your chest. And curl the nose up to your knees. Take a big inhale. And let it go, Shavasana. Gonna roll all the way onto your back. Rest your eyes. Rest your future. Be still. Allow everything to settle. Let's place the right hand over the belly, left hand over the heart. We'll take one last big inhale through the nose. And open the mouth, let it go. Namaste.